Yeah. We're missing a couple of voices in here. The super producer on a little vacay out here.
I'm right here.
We got a new super producer, do we?
I'm ready to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Look at that new super producer in the building. Of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Stefan the Don.
It was good. I was just trying to.
It's a whole screen right there. There's a whole screen. He's trying to get the phone hooked up.
I was going to put the comments on it.
Stefan the Don at the table.
Let's go.
Of course, we got the super producer, JC. We'll give it to him.
What's going on?
We'll give it to him. Yeah, I mean, and of course, C-Dub running the cams, always on the 1 and 2s. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love.
The hat doesn't fit Lord Crimson. You're right. I took it out quick.
Yeah, Joel unfollowed us, and so now we're all we hate everybody. Now there's an unfollow. There's hate.
He just want to take a little break.
He just want to take a little break.
Just because he unfollowed us, don't mean you feel me.
That he don't love us.
Right, exactly.
He still messing with us. He still messing with us, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. Listen, the question that we bring to the table today, and we're going to talk about a couple of different reports that have been put out there for both sides of the debate. Who do you trust? Who can you trust, boys? When the chips are down, who do you look at? Do you look at Brad Biggs or do you look to Peter King? We got to get into all that and more. And of course, best and worst of the weekend. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Y'all know how we get down. Bear Lissimo in the chat. He said, I'm late. Traffic was a B. Did I miss it? You didn't miss it.
No, you're just on time, buddy.
We're just on time, baby. You're just on time. We got Daryl Davis in the chat.
Yo.
King Booker World in the building. What's going on, man? Jay Grizz in the chat. Who else? We got Damian Waynes. Damian Wayland.
I was about to say.
Damian Waynes.
I'm like, hey.
Man, we came up.
We going
coming
somewhere.
up a little bit here. We coming up a little bit. But no, appreciate you guys for tuning in to show and love. Let's get into the show, boys. Listen, Chicago Bears have multiple reports come out over the weekend on what this team is looking to do, about what the future is going to hold for this team, about how long we have left until Justin Fields is either a Chicago Bear or not a Chicago Bear.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the biggest question that everybody's looking at. And the draft combine seems to be a date that everybody's looking close at. Shout out Jay Grizz said, blessings. I hope that is supposed to mean Pat. Blessings on blessing. Oh, blessings on blessings. Okay.
I think he's trying to be Jamaican.
To you and OG Pops, Pat. Appreciate you. He might be Jamaican.
Blessings upon blessings.
Blessings
to you.
upon blessings. Okay. I got nervous.
Yeah.
I got nervous here. I got a little nervous. I didn't know where he was going with on that one. But appreciate you guys for welcoming me back, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, man.
But no, I mean, listen, we start things off with the Big Z report that he basically talked about. Justin Fields already knows that he's out of Chicago, that he's already on the way out. And I want to talk about it kind of in this aspect from both sides, because the conversation on who should you trust, who should you look at with the Chicago Bears to give you the proper report. And I think here's the thing that you have to look at. Watch the man in the middle. Watch Ryan Poles. Watch the guy who is really making the decisions, because when I hear Brad Biggs' report and when I hear Peter King's report, I don't think either one of them is just throwing something out there that they don't believe. I believe that they're both hearing what they need to hear. I believe that they're both reporting on what they're hearing from the Bears front office. And I think that Ryan Poles is just playing a perfect melody out here, fiddle, because all the conversation, everything that's been talked about, everything, Brad Biggs has reported it multiple times. He hasn't changed his report one time. He's basically said, listen, Justin Fields is not going to be in Chicago next year. Get used to it. Prepare for it. It is what it is. And so now when you look at, okay, who do I pay attention to? Who's giving the report? Everything's leaning one side. Okay, everybody's talking about now, oh, Biggsy's got it. He's the one to pay attention to. How he's been reporting has been consistent. You hear Peter King come out today. And he's having the conversation on everything I've heard leads to the Chicago Bears trading the pick. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's the reason why you got to look at how Ryan Poles is playing this and just feel like he's doing a masterful job at it. What did you guys take away from when you heard Brad Biggs report on Justin Fields feeling like he's out of Chicago? And do you feel like Ryan Poles is just playing both sides of the fence perfectly? He's got the cards. Oh, it's so
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on over there? Yeah.
Baby.
What y'all got over there? Nothing.
Nah, bro, he is absolutely running a master class on how to get people talking about this first pick, and it kind of gives him time to basically gives him the leverage to figure out, you feel me, what he's gonna do, because Brad Biggs reported that Justin's out.
Right.
And
He's been reporting that the whole time.
Yeah, and then Peter basically comes back and said, "Oh, we're gonna trade the pick." But I mean, this has been like the back and forth the entire time, and I feel like that's what he wants to do, and then it also makes the other teams look at it and like, oh man, we really don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
When are we gonna start filling calls? Maybe we should start talking to these guys at the combine, which we're gonna get into the combine a little bit later. But this is a perfect smoke screen. And I feel like Ryan Poles is literally just doing his due diligence.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that Brad Biggs is very close to the team. I think he's a made man when it comes to knowing the insider information. But at the same time, I like what one of these Jay Crit mentioned. Poles got the most locked in, reliable reporters chasing their own tails, and I'm loving it. And that's what I think this is, man. I think everybody's just kind of got their head caught on fire right now, just trying to make sure that they know exactly what's going on. And until we literally get word from Ryan Poles, I think this is how it's going to be. The NFL Combine just started today, February 26th through the 4th, I believe, of March. And so this is the time where they're going to have to evaluate all of these quarterback prospects. But you just never know what's going on in that room, man. I think that Brad Biggs is credible, but I also came out with a video that talked about Mike Florio and Rich Eisen having a conversation on an article that Albert Breer came out with that stated that they could be already finalizing that quarterback decision before the scouting combine even started. So we just don't know. We just don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, man. Honestly, and I think I read something that said that Peter King was the first person to break the trade that happened last year with Carolina and the Bears. Or he was one of the first people to report on that. So, I mean, there is a lot of validity in what he's saying. And when Peter King does speak, typically people want to listen and try to figure out, okay, what's the truth or what's the tea leaves behind it. He's on his way out the door. This is his last time writing an article, and he's like, I probably got some nuggets that I just found out. I'm about to drop a bomb on y'all. And it's very possible that what he's saying is something that was leaked to him from Poles' camp. Right. But it's also possible Brad Biggs received information that was leaked to him from Poles' camp. So again, like you said, the 3D chess that he's playing right now with the rest of the league and how he got everybody swimming around trying to figure out what he's going to do next. He hasn't even met Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams ain't even throwing this week. I mean, it's a possibility that they may still keep Justin Fields, but at the end of the day, they probably want to get to know all these quarterbacks and figure out what's next.
No, yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? Like when you talk about really, and shout out Jay Real 24/7/11 said Poles is playing chess versus checkers. That's really what it feels like, right? When you look at what Ryan Poles is doing, when you look at how Ryan Poles is attacking every option here, we're a month away, and people are still questioning what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, like we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and people are still questioning what he's doing, and that to me is that is the biggest gift that the Chicago Bears have in their hands right now, is that people are still looking at this. Now fans may feel like, oh, we got the answers. I know exactly what he's going to do. I know exactly how it's going to go. You might hear people on the radio. We know Caleb Williams is coming. Get ready for that jersey that's going to come in. And you may see that on TV as well. But realistically speaking, Ryan Poles has played this so perfectly that I think you said it best. They've got people in the media chasing their own tails trying to find a story. And
Mhm.
it's gone to the point where it's like, okay, we don't want to keep having a conversation. We don't want to keep sitting here and talking about the same things over and over again. So how do we spin it? Now we got to add our own seasoning on it, right? We heard last week on a certain show that may be affiliated with a station that I'm a part of, and I love the people on that show. But the word cowardly used for unfollowing
Oh, come on,
somebody
man. No.
on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, for unfollowing the Chicago Bears on Instagram. Like,
That's too
that's where people are starting to chase their own tails. That's
Yeah,
where people
yeah.
are starting to have add their opinions to what the player is telling you as he controls the narrative and what he believes in, right? And so I think that that's realistically the when you talk about the conversation around what the future of the Chicago Bears is, the fact that we have a leader in place that is doing this to some of the most credited people in media is something that I love to see. And I feel like it takes no credit away from Brad Biggs. Brad Biggs is reporting on what he's seeing, what he's hearing, what he's feeling, and how he feels the Chicago Bears could move best into the right direction. I don't think that he's sitting here just blowing smoke up people's skirts trying to tell you, hey, he's all in on this. He's doing this because I feel so. I think that he's talking about the things that he's hearing. And I think Peter King, very similar, same way. When Peter King talks, people listen. And so guess what? All of the report, I said this, right? Peter King's the perfect person to go to with this, if this is the game that he's playing. Because if you're 100% honest, Peter King to me is the biggest voice in football since John Madden has passed.
That's a good
I would
point.
say he's the biggest voice. So everybody else talking, everybody else reporting, everybody else I got this. Peter King says, hey, from everything I'm seeing, the Bears are trading the first overall pick. What do you see? I didn't see it. What do you see?
And then he outlines how the pick should go down.
And that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about a big voice shifting the narrative one direction, that's shifting. I said shifting. SHIFT.
Yeah, I was about to say.
ING.
Let's try to go a day without pausing.
Shifting. Just want to be sure.
All right.
Like, I mean, but honestly, when you look at, shifting the narrative, there's no bigger name to do it than Peter King. 44 years in the game. He is the biggest voice of football to me. NBC Nightly, all of that, dog. Like, when you watch the podcast, when you watch the shows on TV, like, it's just like, when he talks, people listen. To me, there are two guys that can shift the culture one way or the other. There's Peter King and there's Adam Schefter, football-wise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, those are the two voices that can say, hey, listen, if I tell you this, it's going boom. This is what's going to happen.
And I think honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. For y'all and for people in the chat, I would legit say at the rate that is going in the way that Brian Poles is playing this, get ready to. We may not know what they're gonna do with the number 1 overall pick until either the week of or the day of the draft. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I think that's the question, though, right? That's the part that you have to ask everybody. Okay, not to say one may be right, one may be the other may be right, but are you waiting till the draft to move the pick? Are the bones of a deal possibly being put together for the pick right now? That's what happened last year. Or are the bones for a Justin Fields trade being put together right now? Or are the bones both being put together right now at the combine?
Now, out of everything that you just mentioned, I would say that the bones for a Justin trade possibly could be in the works. But I mean, as far as the number 1 pick, I don't see that right now, just because like we don't know it's gonna come out of the combine. We already like stated like Caleb's not gonna throw, which I mean I kind of expected. Like we've seen this before. But I mean, I think the works for a Justin Fields trade might be in place. But outside of that, pretty much nothing else.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is going to gain steam or get to its peak. We talk about the evaluation of these prospects, specifically the top 4 quarterback prospects. I think there's going, and this is just my opinion. This is not based off of any report or anything, but the way that it's going, the way it looks to me, I think that the Bears are going to make a solid decision after they actually sit down with these quarterbacks and get in their head as to the type of people they are, what kind of culture are they going to bring in? Are they going to set? Because one of the things that I felt was important about when you talk about Justin Fields and the team and the organization, the fan base, the city, all rally around him because he is the culture. And that means something outside of the performance on the field that could obviously improve. But I think once they get past that point, outside of the 40s and the how many times they can lift a bar or whatever the case may be, like that's when I think Ryan Poles is gonna be like, okay, I'm more definitive in which direction I'll go.
Shout out Tanner with the super chat. Say what up, fellas? Nice shades, Ringo.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's business and all moves must make sense. Common sense. No, I agree with you there, JC. I agree with Tanner on that as well. That when you're talking about a deal getting done here, when you're talking about something being broken down, there's 1 to 2 ways that they have to go about doing it, right? If you're going to trade Justin Fields, I think that you do have to have something moving this week. I think that you're not waiting until the draft. You're not waiting until the final day. You do have to have something moving this week. But it doesn't mean that the bones for that first overall pick trade can't come into place as well. Doesn't mean that, I think that everything right now in football is stopped waiting to see what the Bears are going to do. And the Bears know that. And they're using that to their advantage. Because everybody's going through this combine trying to figure out their draft evaluation. Well, I got to figure out what I need in free agency first as well. I got to figure out what I need in free agency comes before the draft. I got to figure all this stuff out. And that changes drastically if all of a sudden I'm Washington and I have the chance to go get Caleb Williams. That changes drastically if all of a sudden I'm the Patriots or Atlanta, as Peter King talked about with the moving up. If all of a sudden I go out there and I'm able to go get Caleb Williams, right? If I'm in a position to get Jaden Daniels, right? Like the Bears can turn everything on its ear.
Or
hold on,
we could trade Fields for picks. Number 1 pick for the Hall. Sign Russell Wilson. Hey, I'm back from Bermuda. Sign Wilson as a bridge. I mean, Panama, whatever. As a bridge, and draft the other Heisman winning quarterback.
Joe, how'd you get in so fast?
I have a teleportation device.
He does have that kind of money. He's got teleportation device money for sure. Shout out to the super producer. Didn't know he could get here that quickly. You know what I mean?
How many hours is he behind us?
I don't know, dog.
That man living his life. He don't even care about time right now.
It's 12 o'clock. He got here very quickly. It was impressive.
And it's 3 o'clock over there.
It's 3 o'clock over there. Something like that, dog.
No, I think. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to the Russell Wilson thing, I don't know. I think you're playing a dangerous game just because I think. Russ is going to be like paid up already, so that's like a plus. But I think he's also coming out to prove something.
Yeah.
So I don't think like he's willing to like, okay, well, I know y'all got this QB sitting in the wings, but I'm gonna come here and play for you. Because I think he's trying to still prove that he can play.
Russ is not coming to a situation where he knows he's getting out of there in a year. I don't believe so. I would think Russ. The name that I've said that Russ would probably end up tied to is Mike Tomlin. Russ to Pittsburgh makes the most sense to me.
For sure.
They want to win now. They got a defense that's ready to win. You got some offensive pieces that seem pretty good. You're bringing in a quarterback to be with a OC that hopefully they can work a little bit better than Sean Payton and him did. Russ was playing decent by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Russ really wasn't playing bad.
No, he really wasn't, and I think that's the thing that was like kind of throwing everybody off when it came to the whole contract thing, because it's just like, hey, well, I mean, look at where you guys were, and then you almost got to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Jay Real said, super chatted in. Poles is just waiting to say I shook up the world again, and I think I'm gonna be honest with you. That to me is kind of what I can see Ryan Poles doing here, shaking the entire world up again by moving this pick when everybody has literally said it's a guarantee that the pick won't be traded. It's a guarantee that they're taking Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. Now you get Peter King today going the other way on that. The masterfulness of how Ryan Poles has done this to me is why I wanted to do this, right? Like, who can you trust? Will the combine answer the quarterback questions? I do think the combine ends up answering the quarterback questions, but I think it's not something we'll know until the trade is finally made, which sucks, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, I think that this is where the deal, one way or the other, starts to get worked out.
I think,
Barelissimo, that's
bro,
funny.
What do you say?
Bro,
What Barelissimo say?
Is it me or does Brad Biggs' headshot look like his face is imploding? Like, my goodness, man.
I was gonna say, hey, we gotta get the
Barelissimo out here frying. Right.
Right.
That's crazy.
Hey, dog, if he pull this off again, we just gotta get the sound bite from I forget which Avengers movie that was when Thanos is sitting there like, hey,
Oh, when he said
you couldn't live with your failures. Where did that bring you?
right back to me.
Like,
Facts.
hey, man.
Big facts. We'll see what it ends up being, man. Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in and showing love. Over 200 in the chat. 200. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. We're going to take a quick break here to go to our sponsor, Aura. If y'all haven't signed up with Aura yet, man, y'all hate us. Y'all hate us. We got opportunities here for you.
Come on now.
And we need y'all to help us out here with the Aura stuff. Get on it. I'm just playing. One love, though. One love. A lot of love. Tune in with our sponsor, Aura. We'll be back on the other side where we're going to go a little bit more in depth on what Peter King had to say on the article and what that could realistically mean for the Chicago Bears moving forward. We'll be right back right after this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. $191 people in the building, 53 likes, dog. That's what we doing out here. That's what we doing. Y'all not showing the love. Y'all not hitting that like button. Y'all not subscribing to the page. Y'all not showing us no love. What's going on with that? Hit that like button. Subscribe. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Welcome back to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily, where we're breaking down who can you trust? Who do you trust, boys? Everybody's out here spinning their own reports, putting things out there. Dangerous times around here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, all that good stuff. Let's jump into the Peter King report a little bit because I think that this is an interesting one to break down. And this kind of also goes into some of the conversation that JC was having about the quarterback evaluation that Kurt Warner did out there. Kurt Warner, one of those guys that he's like, listen, y'all know how I was evaluated.
Yep.
So we're not going to evaluate people like that. But I thought the Peter King article was interesting because of how he broke down what the Chicago Bears should do. He said, I suppose the Bears are going to trade the top pick. I know nothing, but that seems to be the way the wind is blowing. What wind are you getting, Peter? That's all I want to know. What wind is blowing your way? I need some of that over here. That was almost a pause. But what I say, the Bears could keep Justin Fields and should, which is something he said the entire time, and trade the first pick down once or twice and build the team of a supporting cast a team needs to contend. Suppose GM Ryan Poles traded the top pick down one spot to Washington, which would take Caleb Williams, and got the second pick, a second-round pick, and a 2025 first-round pick in return. Then suppose Poles traded the second pick to Atlanta at 8, and the Falcons picked one of the other quarterbacks. In return, Chicago gets the 8th pick, Atlanta's second-round pick, and a second-round pick in next year's draft. Imagine moving from 1 to 8 and ending up with this draft haul. The 8th and the 9th, their own 9th overall pick in this year's first-round draft. Second-round picks from Washington and Atlanta this year. 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in 2025 for moving down 7 picks. In the first round, the Bears could end up with 9 picks in the first 2 rounds of the next 2 drafts. That draft haul sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But then you have to ask yourself, okay, what am I getting for that? Am I putting myself down too far to get some of the players that I feel can make an impact for me this season? Now, you're keeping Justin Fields in this conversation, but are you moving yourself down too far in the draft at that point, to the point where you're out of the way of all the Marvin Harrison Juniors? You're probably missing out on Joe Alt there. Maybe that's a spot where at 8, right? There's some good names. I mean,
you're missing out on Neighbors.
Missing out on Neighbors. You probably could get a Roma Dunze. You probably could get a Jared Verse, Dallas Turner. Olufashanu is probably in that range at 8 and 9, right? But do you feel like you're moving yourself down too far with some of the names that are available to the Chicago Bears in this draft?
Not. I mean, if you just going off of what Peter King said, if you do if I'm getting the second round picks plus the 8th and 9th, then no, because I mean you guys have talked about it. Like, they need O-line help. You could get O-line help at 8, possibly a Dallas Turner at 9. I mean, and it's like me just thinking ahead how my brain works. Like, I know the Chargers, they're gonna need another receiver. You know, Keenan Allen's getting older. Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, he did not look good his first year.
Yeah, so I mean, you're definitely still getting those impact players at 8 and 9, and get to then turn around and still have those second round picks, which we know he's been able to hit on those. I mean, it's a win-win at that point.
Yeah, shout out C. Rich. C. Rich said, I still say Poles trades the pick to Washington, drafts MHJ number 2, picks up Fields' 5th-year, drafts Penix at 9, and lets him sit and develop. Penix at 9 is I threw that on there as well when I talked about if the Bears were to keep their 9th pick, some of the names that you may go with. I said one of my options was you trade back with the Steelers and maybe put yourself in a range of 20, and you. They have to package a couple of picks to get up there. Jackson Powers, I said at 9. If you feel like he's a 10-year starter in the NFL at center, you won't look back on that pick and go, man, we really overreached on that pick. Nobody looks back on it. But I did have Michael Penix as an option at 9 because, realistically speaking, I do believe the Bears might take a quarterback in this draft. I do believe that the Bears are evaluating all the quarterbacks. And when you're evaluating all the quarterbacks, guess what you end up doing? You're seeing stuff. You start seeing stuff you like. Now, I don't know if they take one that early, but Penix at 9 still allows you to go out there, have Justin Fields for a couple of years. You still got all the question marks, though. Right? That's the thing that scares me about Penix.
Yeah, but are you wasting a pick if you do that? I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like even with the idea of what the haul is that Peter King reported, I definitely think that's a good, return. But I feel like that should be like a minimum get. If you're going to trade back twice, that should be more of a baseline of what you should get. I would hope and expect we get more than that. But if we settle on drafting Penix at 9 and just sitting them, and I get it, the Jordan Love strategy that did work for them. And just in case Fields doesn't work out, you got Penix in the waiting. I don't know. I feel like with this possible generational haul, if we're not going to get Caleb Williams and we're not going to get Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't know. I feel like that's a lost opportunity right there.
Well, and that's why I asked the question, how far down is too far down to move? Right? Because you only get the haul, like the generational haul realistically. Let me see. I don't know if I had these pictures.
We also got to remember real quick, while you're looking that up, Penix is
Penix is beat
an
up.
older
Penix
QB
is
older
beat up.
prospect.
who's beat up.
Yeah.
Which I've said this is my thing because I'm not like hating on Penix. My thing with Penix the whole time was he got the NFL talent. He just can't stay upright. He could throw the ball, make all the throws. He's not as mobile as he used to be, but I mean it's an injury concern with him.
Yeah. I don't have
Yeah,
it on here.
so-
I had a picture where it had all of the. I got it on my computer at the house. But I had a picture where it had what the draft haul is. But I mean, you're talking about having 8 and 9 this year. Now, 9 is yours, so that's not a part of the haul. But you get 8 this year. You get multiple second round picks this year as well. You sit at 8. You get 3 first round picks next year, basically, and you're getting multiple second round picks next year. That is a draft haul. But are you missing? Is that the draft haul that leaves you looking up and going, man, there were 2 generational guys in this draft and we didn't get either of them. There what now? I don't know if that's the case. I guess the conversation would have to be: you feel Justin Fields is that good of a quarterback already to make that move, so you feel better about it because you believe that you have the generational guy at QB. You just have to put the right pieces around him. I don't know if that's how generational works, but we'll see, right? But to go down far enough to where, yes, this is a generational draft haul, but to go down far enough to where you're missing out on MHJ, I'll tell you this much. No matter what you believe about Caleb Williams, if you believe that Jaden Daniels may be one of those guys, if you believe that Drake May maybe is one of those guys that could be the sneaky guy in the draft that everybody was so focused on Caleb they missed, Marvin Harrison Jr. is one of those guys that every team that didn't get a chance at him will look at and go, we could have had that. Doesn't mean you can't get a really good player in Roma Dunze. Doesn't mean you can't get a really good player in Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
But when you see him out there scoring touchdowns,
it's like that guy.
Hey, he's it.
That guy.
That guy.
Nice.
Right? Like it's like all the teams that are like, we could have got Randy Moss.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I feel like there's to me, I feel like, and I've said this on a couple shows prior. There's like a drop off between like there's Marvin Harrison Jr. Like Malik Neighbors is like nice.
Malik Neighbors
is nice.
Yeah.
Then there's Roma Dunze. And like, but it's like, yo, if you gonna grab MHJ, if you there and you like, hey, we gonna do this.
Well, and that's the part that gets scary.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets scary with it.
I'll be honest with you. I actually agree with Hayes in the chat. It says MHJ is the only generational player in this draft. To me, I agree with that. I think he's more player ready or quarterback ready, NFL ready than any other player in this draft. But if we were to move out of that first round, or rather the first pick, and then drop all the way to 8, and you're talking about 8 and 9.
That's with 2 trades now. You're trading with
was it Washington,
and then you're trading again with Atlanta.
Back to 8, right?
Back
so
to 8.
So then we're stacking up in the second round. Then you said we get 2 second round picks, right?
You have multiple second round picks. You get future first.
So I love that, but then what that means is that we have to just completely shift what it is that's important as far as need in the draft. We can't think about wide receiver in the draft.
You say shift.
Shift.
Hey, spell that.
Shift.
Spell that.
SHIFT.
Okay, cool. Got nervous.
All right now. So I think that's what we have to do in the draft is, like you mentioned the name Olufashano. There is another name I actually saw rising up draft boards. I believe his last name is Hawaiian. Is it Fawanu? No, not the edge from UCLA. He's a tackle. I believe his name is Fawanu. Chad, help me out with where he actually plays. There's another name that's coming up the boards as well, along with Olufashano and JC Latham in that range. That could be a good pickup. But then also they're talking about Powers Johnson being really, really, really good at center.
Yeah.
Like if we can get 1 tackle in the first round, address Fuaga. Thank you, Augustine. Right tackle. But perhaps he can play another position. We talk about maybe that's not the idea, but Fuaga is a very good name to think about. But then you address the center position with Powers Johnson. I'm fine with that draft if we're addressing the need at the two weakest spots
You
on
just go,
the
you go
offensive
straight
line.
up O-line on.
Yeah, O-line, and of course with the 8th pick or 9th pick, I'm still getting receiver. I'm not going 8-9 tackle. I'm going 8-9, 8 or 9 tackle and receiver, and then in the second round, I'm addressing the center position with Powers Johnson. So
I don't
that
know if
could
he's
be a
gonna
good
fall, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You
to
don't think he'll fall
I
that
think
far?
he's. I think he's.
He is that good.
I think he's a first round talent, bro.
It's
I
He
think
is
he's
that
I
good.
think he's going to end up
Yeah.
being in the first round, and we're going to. And here's the thing, right? That's another one of those players that because of the stigma of you don't take centers in the first round, there's going to be a lot of teams that look at it and be like, man, I wish we had a starting center.
hey, I'm gonna be honest.
I wish we had a starting center. We could have got Jackson Powers Johnson.
And the crazy part about it is, it's like you have to, like, just looking at the draft order for the top 10. Like, Harbaugh's team was built off defense and offensive line at Michigan. So if you think that he's not gonna sit there and like, oh well,
Harbaugh's gonna attack the trenches.
We're gonna take,
But they got a lot of dudes in the trenches already. They just
it's
the Chargers literally just underperformed for halves of
telling you,
football.
I'm
Like
okay.
literal halves of football. Like they would be
Okay.
the best defense in the NFL in the first half of football. And in the second half,
Chargers. I'm letting you know,
He
man.
said they
I'm
finna
letting
be
you
the
know they're about to be the
Michigan
Michigan Chargers. I'm telling you. Who not? He finna look. Who not taking the center? field?
Oh,
Who not
he got time. He taking the
That's
glasses
what
off on y'all.
Who not? Oh, we got a center field. Ain't
Raging
nobody looking
Rico.
at him. Watch this.
hey, bro, you already know what he gonna be on. He about to be like, listen, I really like this kid we got at quarterback. Don't even say his name. I really like this kid we got at quarterback. But let me sell you on the idea of JJ McCarthy.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Herbert, JJ McCarthy,
Hey, listen.
Blake Coleman, running back.
Listen, I'm telling you, dog. He about to
Hey,
to literally slowly work his way to get Herbert up out of the city, bro. I love this Herbert kid. But have you heard of McCarthy? And
Hey.
who's somebody that's rising up the draft board fast? Ain't done nothing
Hey,
yet.
I'm not gonna.
Ain't
lie.
done nothing yet. Rising up on the strength of Harbaugh alone.
It's just the idea that he
for
could
sure.
be a good quarterback because they didn't really. There wasn't a lot of passing attack at Michigan. You know, they played through their defense and their run game. So the idea is, oh well, if he had more shots to pass, he could be right up.
I
there with all
will
these
say
he's not
this.
bad.
This is
He's
the
not
difference though.
bad.
This is the difference though, and this is the one credit I'll give JJ McCarthy. And this is why the Kurt Warner conversation that you wanted to bring up is so apt, because you really do have to do your due diligence with these quarterbacks. The one thing I'll say about JJ, when called upon, there's very few times I don't remember him answering the bell. And players like that
Oh yeah, he a gamer.
do extrapolate out well. You can say that's a game manager, but like I think about what's old boy, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
I was thinking Bryce. That's just irrelevant. When you look at Brock Purdy, the thing that to me, when I look at Brock Purdy and I say I think he's more than a game manager, guys. Yes, the system helps him tremendously. Yes, everything that is around him helps him tremendously. Having all those weapons help him tremendously. Let's do that for Justin Fields. But I believe that he is. But every time I need you to step up and make the big play. You can make the big play.
Yeah.
That's more than a game manager.
And he literally.
And I think that's where with JJ McCarthy, you kind of go, hey, yo, maybe he's got something.
I mean, from watching him week to week, he definitely improved, and I believe that he did get better at throwing the ball. He does get into sometimes these situations where like he's forcing it too much, especially that game against Alabama, that first drive. I was like, oh, because I thought he was.
What noise you make?
Huh?
What noise you make? There?
Oh,
He don't like that.
I thought he was about to turn it
It's
on.
uncomfortable. I don't know if that's a flag. But I'm uncomfortable that another man made you go, ooh. I'm gonna throw that one. I'm gonna throw that one. He challenged it immediately.
Hey, game one day.
I threw it.
You only get one. You only get one.
Hey, that's his challenge for the week. He started the week off with a challenge.
challenge.
Here's the thing. When you're so confident in a challenge that you throw it the second that a bad call is made.
Do it right after you,
Bro, right after, bro.
No,
What?
not that.
Hey, Chad, he got the challenge out there. He got the challenge. Was it a pause or not? Was it a pause or not?
We'll let
I
the chat
just say it.
decide.
He said he made him go, ooh.
Hey,
It was how the ooh came out.
Like, ooh. Like,
It was how the ooh came out that threw me off.
you know what?
Not like that.
What I will say, I just wanted to point this out. Barelissimo, very good point. J.J. McCarthy played under center, operated within the offense, was accurate, did what was asked, efficient, not heart attack good and bad. What I like about that last part of what he said is that you look at all of these other quarterbacks. What do we always talk about? The flashy plays, the ooh-ah moments, the electrics that we see, you know, with Caleb Williams, just off-script plays. J.J. McCarthy is a guy that is consistent. He's not going to wow you with all of his plays, but he's somebody that you can trust. And so do you want that type of prospect more, where maybe his potential wasn't necessarily seen to the fullest extent in college because of the system that they ran?
Yeah.
And when he gets to the next level, he's going to be even better than what we thought, better than a game manager possibly? Or do you take the risk of going with that heart attack good player and Caleb?
And that's why I said, right, the conversation that you wanted to have on Kurt Warner's evaluation of the QBs and how he broke down Caleb Williams. What was kind of the biggest takeaway there that you felt was, you know, because he basically said, he's like, I don't even think he was saying Caleb's good. Well, from what I saw, from what I watched and how it sounded to me, it sounded like he was trying not to slander a dude that he did not believe in.
Here's the thing. I was surprised, but here's what I will say about Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner is not biased to any quarterback prospect. He looks at the tape. I believe his channel is Quarterback Confidential, and he breaks it down. He gives you the pros and the cons, the strengths, the weaknesses. He will tell you what he's good at, what he looks to be bad at as well, and he keeps it real. He's straightforward. And so, you know, being a successful quarterback in the league like he has been, coming from nothing in a sense, winning a championship, he knows what it takes on all levels. And so you got to listen when he talks. He basically said he's watched 4 games individually, 4 games of Caleb, 4 games of Jaden, 4 games of Drake, and 4 games of Penix. And he felt that the 2 best games that were out of all of those 12 games was when Jaden Daniels went up against Mississippi State and when Penix went up against Oregon in terms of playing quarterback. It says that they were making good decisions, on-time throws, and on a consistent basis down the field. And so that gives you a little bit of pause. Now, obviously, we're not going to say that's going to shift. I said shift.
He said shift.
The draft in a way where, we're going to see a Michael Penix be the number 1 pick or Jaden Daniels be the number 1 pick. But could it possibly be, you know, a little bit more as we get into this combine? Could it be a way for scouts to do a little bit more homework on these quarterback prospects? Because I looked at the stats for that game that he was talking about with Jaden. I didn't realize, man, Jaden had an all-world game. He was 30 for 34, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Counted for 4. Malik Neighbors had an all-world game too, 239 yards receiving. I mean, it gives you some time to think about, does this guy, even though he is a Heisman winner and his value already rose, can it rise even more with evaluations coming from proven players and proven analysts like Kurt Warner?
Yeah, I mean, listen. I by the way, the challenge right now for Ringo is look at success. We got a poll up on this. Pause. We got a poll up on this on the YouTube chat, and 65% successful right now. Well, we'll let this run for about 10 minutes. We'll see if he said the first time he saw J.J. McCarthy, he made him go, ooh.
No, I said
that's literally what he said. What did he say, Chad?
No,
what did he say? What did he say, boys?
I literally said, the first drive against Bama. When he threw it to the sideline, and it almost got picked. I was like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Just saying.
Hey,
but no. I love that we got an actual poll going. There's like 35 votes on it.
I know, because I was talking to Joe. I was like, if we throw the flag and then the chat decides,
you get the challenge back. You get the challenge back. You get another challenge for the week.
Challenge back, but if you
it's a 2 challenge week still.
Fail the challenge, you lose like 10 seconds of talk time on your just like 10.
10 seconds of talk time. That's
Yeah.
great. How we
Yeah,
go?
can I,
I'm gonna shut y'all up. There's no way to shut y'all up. You can't fool me. I let y'all on the show, and now you're losing your goddamn minds out here.
losing your mind.
Losing your ever-loving minds. But no, I just realistically speaking, I think the punishment should be. Never mind, that's a dark joke. No, the punishment should be you got to go get the flags.
Avenge me! Oh my God!
It was dark, but I had to throw it out there. That's my boy. That's my boy. Nobody else can make that joke. I do fight. I think here's the interesting part about Kurt Warner's assessment of it. And I can't say that I've watched him break down individually each quarterback. I really just watched Caleb one. I do want to see what he did with Jaden and what he did with Drake May. But I think here's the thing. When you listen to his tone, and this is a guy that played quarterback at a high level, I don't think he would slander any quarterback if he doesn't have to. And I don't think he slandered Caleb Williams here, but knowing what his journey was at QB, what he went through to get to where he was at, I think he roots for everybody to be successful. And he talks about that often. It felt like he was trying to find things to say good about Caleb. And I don't even believe that. I think Caleb is going to be a good player in the NFL if he goes to the right situation.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I just don't know if he's generational. And for you to move on from Justin Fields, you do have to know that this guy is going to be leaps and bounds better than the quarterback that I have already in place. And so that's why, to me, right, like when I hear Kurt Warner sit there and go, I don't like that he makes this throw. I don't like how he attacked here. He had talked about the game versus, of course, everybody's talking about the game versus Notre Dame. It's the only game anybody in Chicago has seen. But he talked about kind of what happened when he was under pressure and under duress. And he was like, I don't feel like he's making good decisions here. And when you hear that, I'm just watching his body language. I'm just like, he hates Caleb Williams. He just doesn't want to say it. He respects the position of what this young man has to go through right now, but he does not believe Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback at the NFL level. That's how it felt to me watching it. Would you say that's how it seemed to you, JC, when you watched it?
Yeah, I would say that he doesn't seem like he's going to be an amazing quarterback at the next level. And another thing I didn't even point out that Kurt Warner even mentioned is that, all the other games that he saw, he says were very average in his opinion. And it's not to take away that Caleb, has some great plays, but again, going back to Bellissimo's comment about those, heart attack good plays where it's amazing, but then he also gives you the heart attack bad plays. Like I want someone that's going to keep my heart rate at a consistent basis. Like I want a winner that's going to make sure that he's consistent throughout the game.
I love what Jonathan put here. That's a line that stood out to me. He likes Caleb as a thrower, not as a passer.
There you go. Exactly.
That's a line that stood out to me.
Exactly.
But is that not
different things?
I mean, and
he likes what Caleb can do as the off-schedule guy. He likes what Caleb can do as I can make a play out of anything. He likes what Caleb, and I think that's the thing, right? It's not that he's saying Caleb Williams is bad, but I think maybe not to say he doesn't like Caleb Williams or doesn't believe in him, but he doesn't believe he's what people are hyping him up to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that scares a lot of Bears fans. If he's not what you hyped him up to be, is he worth moving on from your quarterback from?
And I think that's the thing that I've been asking like the last couple of streams. Like one stat that I found in the 3 seasons that he was since he's been at USC, 31 touchdowns. 4 picks. That's when he's out of the pocket making plays off schedule. 31 touchdowns, 4 picks. So he's got the off schedule ability. My thing is that something that Shane can clean up?
Yeah.
Because and my thought process, and it's kind of like I told JC and Calvin when I was on the stream with Kid. Shout out Kid. If we feel like this roster is 65 to 70% done, and they do take Caleb, he would be the only QB, number one position. QB that I know that has been in a position where it's like, okay, you literally have no excuses. Like The line is there. They have the number one rushing attack. They're pretty much
The defensive
may
line is
take
there.
a receiver. You have the defense.
Yeah.
Everything's there. So if you work with him, could he possibly turn into that? I believe so. But it's like you said, I just don't think that this dude is generational. I think
that's like
he
my
has
biggest
some
fear.
qualities that Pat Mahomes has, but he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's like my biggest fear. Obviously, I want us to keep Justin, but we get this guy, and he's kind of shown that when he's under pressure, maybe he cracks a little bit. Maybe he gets a little bit too emotional. You got to run to mommy. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible that all these reporters that's constantly questioning him every single day. It's a little bit too much for him. He has a bad game, leads to 2 or 3 bad games in a row, and then he starts pointing the finger at the line, at the coaching. And it's like, if you already got somebody that's proven, that's already tested, that's went through the battlegrounds of what Chicago gives you or puts at you, I think you stick with that, man. And it's like, Caleb hasn't really shown to me that he can handle the big bright lights pressure that's going to come his way from a big city like Chicago.
Yeah.
And you put in the fact that, all right, he had a fall off season compared to the previous Heisman year's season. I definitely think that it's a possibility that you might have these quarterbacks that's coming out of this draft all on equal footing in terms of talent level. And so in this case, why not get as much as you can to surround Justin Fields and make this team even more better?
See, here's the one thing for me. Like, I really do think that Caleb is leaps and bounds better than everybody else in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I watch his tape and I'm like, he's better than Drake May and Caleb and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't win against higher competition. Football's still a team sport. Justin Fields has how many games that he should have won that he didn't win because his team let him down? You know what I mean? Like, so I really do believe that it's just, do you believe that he's better than what you could turn Justin into? And now with an extra $30 million, you're less worried about the money aspect of it because you can acquire things in the draft and you can pay the quarterback side. I think that's where, even to this, we're still here asking this question. And that's why I look at it, I'm just like, back to the first topic, I'm on what Ryan Poles is talking, whatever Ryan Poles is talking.
Yeah.
If Ryan Poles believes in this kid, if Ryan Poles believes this kid is going to be a monster, come on now. Let's do it. Like that's what we're rolling with. And I'm going to be rooting for Caleb if he comes here. And I'm not worried about, like, I love like you brought up he had to go cry into his mom. That shows me he cares.
He cares.
Show me he cares. Now listen.
He did the Lambo leak to her, though.
Now listen. Hey, look, where she was at?
Lambo Lee.
Where she was at? Where was she at? So you want mom to jump on the field? You want mom to Sandra Bullock's this and just end up on the field? Like in the Blind Side. Like I don't know, bro. Like I'm not as worried about that. I'm worried about the leader that he is. Emotion doesn't bother me. There's an entire clip of Justin Fields telling his dad he don't know what to do in high school.
I have changed my narrative on that.
Caleb is what, 2 years away, 2 years removed from high school?
Yeah.
3 years removed from high school?
3. Yeah.
He's still young. And he's got a coach
still a
that's not going to put him in positions where you have to be that guy.
I have changed my narrative on the whole, fingernail painting thing. I too was, I'll agree that I initially was like, hey man, I don't want a guy like that. But if he wins, he wins.
If you sling 40 touchdowns here in Chicago, you'll have fans in the stands painting their fingernails just like you had white kids in the stands doing Justin Fields braids. Like, come on, bro. Like, we know how this is gonna go, bro.
I ain't paying my nails.
We know how this is gonna go. Hey. C-Dub gonna be the first one. That mother gonna be say C-A-L-E-B Dub. He gonna have Dub on the fingers. Then it's gonna be bear down on the thumb. He gonna be there you go, bear down. Thumb and index. Like I could care less what Caleb Williams does with his fingernails. I could care less who he cries to.
Y'all ain't saying that about Dennis Rodman.
Nah, he was.
Bro, Dennis Rodman was painting his head. He did.
Well, here's the thing. You can do all that you want once you're great.
Yeah,
you gotta be great first.
Right. You can be Dennis Rodman if you know
Rodman didn't start doing all that.
That man married himself. So
you can be Dennis Rodman for all I care.
Right. Hey, Dennis Rodman is 2 championships in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he plays up to it, all I'm saying is if he plays up to it, like, come on now.
Bro,
What are you talking about?
I could care less about any of that, bro. This man Caleb could come in with hair that says "bear down." He could have wings tattooed on his back. His jersey could be
Like,
a
who
pink,
cares?
a pinkish blue
Wings
shade, the
tattooed
powder
on
blue
his
shade.
back.
I could care less what he did. Can he throw touchdowns? That's
No,
like, you know what? You know to me, that's the other side of, and I don't know if y'all remember this, right? But like, that's the other side of like when Justin Fields had a fro and people was calling into the radio shows, like, he just looks a little unkept for me at the quarterback
Oh,
position.
come on now.
Hey, that's the other side of that. That's all that is, bro. Like, or when what did Colin Cowherd say? Oh, Brock Purdy can't be a franchise quarterback. Where's his hat backwards?
Whatever.
And you
That's
pull
that
up
get
pictures
off
of
my lawn
Stafford,
type stuff.
Brady. Yeah, it can't be a franchise quarterback. You represent my team. You wear your hat backwards. Like, come on. It's my Colin Cowherd. I don't know
Can't
if y'all know
stand that
right?
man.
Like I could care less what you do off the field. Can you sling that pill when you're on the field?
You know what the true measuring stick is for me, honestly, is if we do go the route of Caleb Williams or any other quarterback, will they win us more than 7 games next year? Because if this team and if this offseason is all about improving the team as a whole, we need to be a playoff team. Whether it's with Justin, whether it's with the quarterback that we're sure is going to be successful, as soon as he hits the field, I need to see 8, 9, 10. I need to see actually more than nine wins.
That's facts. That's the part that's tough. By the way, Ringo Paul's challenge was successful.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
65% success.
Does he get it back now for the week?
Yeah.
Oh, he gets one more. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. All right.
Let's go.
He passed. You better say thank you to the chat because I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a fail.
pause.
I thought it was a fail.
I'm glad we had.
That's because we've been on his heels
Hey, yo, he been wild.
since the year
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, he been having a wild
I
year.
think we forgot.
He's
What are you
been
talking about?
he's
I
been
don't know what
coming
you're
hot
talking
and ready every
Hey,
week.
Joe's
You know
not
what I
on
mean?
the buttons today. He can't put anything.
Hey, Joel ain't here to press the buttons.
Every week, Joel ain't here to press the button.
That's right.
Joel
I'm
ain't here
not
to press
saying
the buttons,
nothing.
bro. Yeah, I mean, I could care less. But no, let's keep this thing moving along. Appreciate you guys tuning in, showing love. Let's get into the best and worst of the weekend. What happened? What you laughing at?
I'm just pre-laughing for the worst and the best. Of the
Oh
weekend.
God,
Oh,
bro!
yeah,
The worst of the weekend is going to be interesting. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. Hey, what is y'all best of the weekend, man? What was the best thing that happened to y'all this weekend? Drop it in the chat as well. Best thing I saw this weekend, boys, was athletes checking fans left and right.
Oh yeah.
Best thing I saw this weekend. I'm going with the KD. KD walks out onto the court, gets called. Hey, KD, you a man. Yeah, I mean, throwing one at him, throwing a little B word his way.
Oh.
KD turns around,
Deserve it.
walks in the fan's face. Fan immediately sees 7'1" Kevin Durant walk over and go, "What do you say?
Oh,
What'd you
Lord.
just say?" And went, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm a fan. Hey, hey,
I didn't even see this. Is that what happened?
hey."
I just wanted to
He
let you know.
cowered
I
into
just
it.
wanted to let you know. I'm a
Hey.
huge fan. I got a podcast.
I got a podcast, bro. Pitch the podcast after calling Kevin a B. Bro, first things first. First things first.
Rest in peace,
You
bro.
can never pitch a podcast
Yeah.
after getting scared,
Yeah,
bro.
no,
not at all.
You can never pitch a
That's crazy.
podcast after getting scared. Second thing, this guy's podcast is destined to be successful because if you got that kind of cojones to throw a B word somebody way and then instantly pitch it, you know he's pitching podcasts left and
Oh,
right.
yeah.
He's trying to quit his job tonight. You didn't even see the Kevin Durant thing this weekend.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no,
Because I was too focused on another worst. Or should I say it's the best? I don't really know
Hey,
it's the best.
that's up to you.
It depends. So let's go with Ringo
Ringo,
first,
what was
all
your
right?
best?
Yeah.
What was your best of the weekend?
My best of the week, you know, it
He
was
said
my,
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Hey,
That's a
I
fact.
could definitely see him doing.
Kid was cooking this weekend.
Hey, hey man, my best of the week, my best of the weekend. Parents had their 45th
Hey.
wedding anniversary. Shout out mom and pops. Went to Cooper's Hawk. Did decent little vibe. Tried the blueberry wine.
Big
yeah.
blueberry guy, all right?
Hey,
yeah.
hey, it was
And that blueberry wine
it-
is busting.
it was a-
That's
it was
probably
a
my
suggestion.
favorite wine.
But
Yes, sir.
I had a nice time with the fam. Everybody was there, so that was my best of the weekend.
What'd you have, JC?
All right, well,
where you going with it? You going this best or worst? What are you?
I don't know if I'm going both. Best and worst. It depends on who you're talking about because the best of the weekend was Cam Newton. Worst of the weekend was the TCP football players that went up against him.
No.
Because
TSP.
TS, whatever. They got knocked out is what you need to call
So
them.
wait,
because
those were the players.
those were the players on the 7-on-7 team. One of the teams.
I thought
that
those were the
tournament.
adults
No.
that
those
that
were the
got in a
coaches.
beef
Those were
with
some
them.
of the
I thought
coaches.
those were the coaches.
Those were some of
Those
the
weren't the
coaches,
players. Those were the coaches.
I thought I read a report. Okay, I could be wrong. I'll take that back. I apologize if I'm misinformed, but I thought that it said those were the players on one of the teams. So okay. Regardless, they were treated like they were kids because this dude had dragged them. Like, first of all, you took a cheap shot on Cam Newton and thought you was doing something. He ate that, then grabbed one guy, slung him out of the camera vision, like into oblivion. Then when they got the other camera angle, like Jazz, Jeffrey on Jazz on Fresh Prince, and then your boy got handled in a headlock like a little kid.
He wasn't in the fight at all.
He wasn't in the fight at all. He didn't even see what was going on. He had his head down. I'm like, what did they think they was going to do? Cam Newton is 6'6", 270 pounds.
6'7".
6'7". Let's just add another inch on because the dude is a physical specimen. How in the world did you think you was going to beat this man up, even if it was 6 against 1?
I was trying to figure out why Buddy was trying to grab him by the leg. Like
that's all you could do. He was looking like Jeff Van Gundy.
He did.
bro, he was like trying to pick him up.
Bro,
What are you doing?
Bro, and here's the funny. So Hayes said that it was the coaches on the other team.
Oh, so they used to coach on Cam's team.
But I don't know what ended up happening.
Nah,
but they were coaching against Cam's team.
No. He's saying they used to coach on Cam's team, so there's beef there.
Team,
well, I don't know if that's true or not.
And
but
Cam fired him?
No. They use it so because I read the story. They said that it was Cam's former team, and then like I guess they were saying Cam got out of the car and basically was like, "What we betting?" So then after that, like once they got like into the game, he was basically beating them.
Yeah, I know Cam's team.
And so as usual, it's about some money.
It was basically like, "Oh yeah, y'all running that play? I know that play. I taught y'all everything y'all know." And then after that, that's when Buddy got mad and he tried to say Cam touched him first.
Cam did not. The video would determine that that was a lie. My favorite part about the video is this. Cam Newton knew the financial implications of Cam Newton throwing a punch.
Yes, there you go.
Cam Newton knew exactly. He was in the right frame of mind.
Yep.
He knew exactly what it was going to take. And he just wanted them to know that no matter what y'all do, you're not going to beat me. Bro, first off, getting in a fight with Cam Newton. Right? First things first. On a serious note, Cam is one of the only people bringing this to the inner cities and doing this with kids in a more hood environment
in Atlanta. Yeah,
and that's how y'all want to do this, right?
He's done it with destroying ones when destroying does his one-on-ones with the wide receivers. Cam's always there.
Cam's always there.
Cam's
done nothing but support these young kids who may not have a name that get a name from these things. Justin Fields got his name from this 7-on-7 camp.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that get their names from doing things like this. Don't be the moron adults who, one, fit into the stigma that we always fight and every time we get together, and two, who are ruining this for the kids that have an opportunity to get invited to the camp, to build their name up at the camp, to grow at the camp. And to get NFL player coaching at the camp. Let's not do all that. Now, on the flip side, the logic part of this. We watched Cam Newton take Auburn to the Natty with one professional offensive lineman. We watched Cam Newton go to the Super Bowl where his best wide receiver put up 765 yards on a season. We watched Cam take 7 teams pretty much to the playoffs on his back. What made you think that you was going to bring him down? What made you think that you had a chance in this fight? Cam Newton went up against Luke Kuechly daily in practice.
Forget about him.
Luke Kuechly was not
Thomas Davis.
Bro, Luke Kuechly was not logical enough to know the difference between practice and play. You think he worried about you? Like, come on.
They showed us. They showed a play. It was Cam Newton. It was like a 3rd and 8 play against Atlanta. And this man, he got the ball. He looked like he was finna throw, and then he scrambled for 8 yards up the center of the field. There was about 8 Atlanta Falcons players trying to just gang tackle this man. Get off me! Get off me! Spin move! Get off me! Bamming it like it was like a battering ram. I'm like, do you honestly think this guy is going up against 300-pound men daily or weekly in his prime? Do you think that he still ain't got it to the point where he can just push you all off him? Is that a pause? What did I do? I don't know. What? Don't you throw? Where my red at? If you throw it out, hold on.
No, you gotta throw that.
What we doing? Hold on. What did I say?
That show, I might let that one slide.
What did I say?
I let that one slide.
I don't know what I said. I don't know what I said. Dang.
I don't know if
I'll let that one slide. I mean, you got a flag too. You can throw yours.
I don't know what I said.
I threw a flag already today. That was crazy. Oh, he threw it out there. Oh, Ringo.
Oh, man.
Hey,
I don't even know what I said, bro.
Hey, yeah, 8 dudes on him, and then he spin moved and then banged it on him.
Oh man,
I wasn't even going on that one. I was saying he going up against 300-pound dudes trying to gang him a week.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not gonna waste this one because I feel like I would lose.
Let that one live. Let that one live out there.
But you know what? I will say this. The last thing I will say is, since y'all don't want to be loyal to me, we need loyalty, just like Cam Fields' hat.
Hey, bro, the best of the weekend is
Yeah.
Cam Newton's hat. The best of the weekend is Cam Newton's hat, bro.
Down, Jack.
Bro, that hat said, listen here, Jack. Listen here, Jack. What you think? What y'all doing? Hold on, I got you. Oh, you trying to swing? Oh, hold on. Where's the hat? Where's the hat?
Hey, that's that Steve Harvey.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen here. Now, I'm not gonna tell you.
Bro, that was that Cam. Bro, Cam Newton had that Harvey fro, bro.
Hey, bro.
Cam Newton had that Harvey fro, boy. That Rod Blagojevich hair, bro. That mug did not move, dog.
It's bro.
The hat was priceless, dog.
Nah, the hat. Hey, man.
That was
actually what
the hat might be the
hat
best of the weekend. The hat might be the best. But listen to Gandalf Wizard hat. You shall not pass.
But it literally just comes down to how many times do I gotta tell y'all, bro? Like when y'all in the heat of the moment, pick y'all battles,
bro. And that's fam. And everybody wanted to remember. We all wanted to know what was gonna happen if John Moran dad got in that fight with Shannon. That.
Yeah.
Football players is built different. And here's the thing, y'all gotta realize there's a switch for them. There's a real switch for them. They go from like, hey, I'm a regular person. Nice to meet you. Glad to have you here. To like, flip. Oh, I literally got to kill somebody on the other side every single play. That switch don't go away.
It just lies dormant.
It just lies dormant as they go through. Like, bro, like, no, like, leave him alone.
He's not even old, right?
Just leave me. Bro, he's what?
He's still trying to get back in the league.
He can still come back.
Bro, some GM is going to see that and be like, listen, he might still have it, boys. He might say, you see, I had that headlock right here. Man, this dude was dying, bro. Cam was just, this dude.
Come along for the ride.
Hey, this dude was getting beat up just by Cam holding on to him, bro. That was crazy, man. I don't know. Well, my worst of the weekend, I guess we got to do that as well.
Hey, he can at least beat Taysom Hill. I mean, shoot, at the end of the day.
Oh, Taysom Hill? Yeah, he can be Taysom
can play that role, yeah.
He definitely can be Taysom. He not coming back to be Taysom Hill, though. Oh, we didn't get the JC. What was your best of the weekend? Or was it that?
Honestly, yeah, it was.
Oh, not JC, I'm sorry. C-Dub, what was your best
Hey, man,
of the
I'm going to give a shout-out, man. So,
shout out.
So this past Saturday, man, we, us the fellas, man, we all was hooping.
Hey.
And my man Pete Kidd came to play, bro.
Oh, Kid had young legs that day.
I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, we was going up against a lot of young dudes. These young cats like 6'6". You know, I'm like 5'10". Pete Kidd's like 5'9".
Yeah.
Hey, Kid came down and hit like 7 straight threes, bro. No cap. I'm not even cap. Listen, it was 7 straight, bro. Like I was like, why is this dude not missing?
Rigo said, I gotta see this.
Nah, let me tell you why I'm frustrated. Cause y'all be talking about this man like this man was like it's an avatar, bro. It's an Avatar.
When you need a Mosi disappear?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh no! Back in our prime, me and P Kid was on tournament
Kid
team.
could
He
hoop.
would kill people.
Kid could definitely hoop.
He would
Bro,
he would
Kid,
get you off the
Jeremy.
dribble.
So we played in
man,
the
he a
tournament.
beast.
We played in the tournament versus Kid team. I ain't know Kid at the time. I just knew he was the dude that was hooping on the other side that was balling. And I could still defend. So I was like, yo, like Jeremy's brother Lamont, I was like, yo, let me guard him. Just let me guard him.
He's getting cooked.
Let me guard him. Bro, Kid was cooking this man left and right. I was like, you can't guard him. He's like, I got this guy. I was like, you're not quick enough. He's killing, bro. He had that man going left, right, up, down. He was putting
P
down
Kid,
the
I don't
code.
think you remember the tourney we was in. You wasn't trash because it was just me and you on that trash team. That was who was trash. It was
No,
me,
yeah,
you,
that team was trash.
and somebody else like 8, 9, 10 years ago. Nah, you was doing your thing, bro.
But yeah, no, hey man, no, I think he's talking about the tourney that Ringo came to.
Oh,
When
the previous
Ringo
one,
saw
this
it.
last
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
What was y'all worst? You know what my worst of the weekend was? I gotta. We might close the show with this because this is how bad it is.
Uh-oh.
This is how bad it is. Easter season is coming up, right? There's a very popular candy that is eaten every Easter. I don't know why. It's one of the worst candies in the world. Yeah, it's called Peeps.
Bro,
I've
why?
never had that.
Why?
With the bunny? The bunny?
Why?
I've never
They
had
got the
that.
bunny, they got the duck. I think it's mostly the duck, ain't it? It's
Nah,
mostly the
I'm
duck.
good.
Hey, bro. America's gonna die. How many, like, we're
It's over
built
with.
just to be fat.
It's over with.
How many Peeps do you think are consumed during the Easter season? Not the year, during the Easter season.
A lot.
Thank you. Appreciate you breaking that down for me. Give me a guess. Somebody give me a guess here.
How many?
How many?
How many peeps?
Shit,
Okay,
guys.
let's go
Oh,
in the hundreds of thousands.
A million.
Hundreds of thousands.
It can't,
I'm going
nah,
million.
hundreds of thousands.
Wait,
Higher?
up from where, me or him?
Higher than him.
Oh
600?
Lord,
10 million.
50 million.
Are we in the AMs?
All right, man. You know
100
what?
million?
Wait.
600 million Peeps are consumed during the Easter season.
Bro, that's fat.
Y'all out here doing nasty work, bro.
Well, they do.
Nasty work.
They
Y'all
do
are out
nowadays.
here doing nasty. How y'all alive?
They guts is thrown up.
600 million Peeps. Dog, I found that out this weekend. I was done. And we made s'mores yesterday. I had one. I said, oh, but the Peeps. I remember the Peeps.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
hey, whoever doing that, man, they
Bears Junkie said,
their stomach must be at a
I saw
rave.
that too.
he said it's so good. I would fight Cam Newton for it. Oh
Nah,
my God,
I'm
bro.
good.
All right.
Oh
You
my
keep the
God,
Peeps.
bro. Kid said I need to make Peeps.
Man.
Make some profit off of that.
Hey,
profit
bro,
off
real,
peeps.
$2 a peep.
$2 a piece.
$2 a
outside
peep,
of White
bro.
Sox, them got the
I don't
peeps.
know if
Got the
that
peeps.
is that a pause.
That man got the
Nah,
$2
that's not a pause. Nah, I'm not buying that. Now we stretching it.
Nah.
Just mad 'cause you got flagged for your
I
pause.
did.
What was your worst from the weekend, Ringo?
My words for the weekend, honestly, would just have to be the coaches from Cam's event, bro, because it's like you're
Yeah.
you ruining it for the kids.
Yeah.
And then it's like at some point, you know, we got the group chat. Shout out Jimmy. They're always trying them at these events. They're always trying Cam at these events for some odd reason.
Because Cam talk trash
I
back.
don't understand why.
Mugs think you could talk any way to any kind of player, and they just gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, well I'm a player, so I'm just gonna ignore you and take the high road." No, some of these mugs they
always
say
run his mouth.
you
Yeah.
go high, I go to hell.
Yeah. So it's just like it you know and hopefully like he doesn't stop it, but like I feel like for anybody else like that they would consider it because
Yeah.
it's like you're literally sending your kid to these camps.
He probably ain't gonna
And then
stop
that-
it, but
then that's
security
how
gonna
these
be more
people
next year.
Oh yeah, no.
And it was a ton of security there,
That
but they
was
was
also
late.
worse too. That was also the worst too. They were right there, and I know that maybe they didn't expect that to just escalate like that. But you saw security vests all over the place, and they didn't do anything.
And nobody
until-
did nothing, bro.
Nothing.
Cam hiring police next year. Anybody else got a better? You calm down there, kid.
Oh,
You calm down there, kid. Yeah, that could be a best right there. Rhea Ripley was wrestling this weekend. What?
Hey,
yeah.
hey,
Oh, snap.
Now.
Oh,
yeah.
snap.
hey, all right, yeah.
Hey. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Y'all
We
hit
gonna
that
wrap
like
up
button,
that?
subscribe to the
And
page,
that's
leave
all,
that
folks.
5-star review.
Hey, shout out Triple H.
Y'all know
We all
what
know
to
what
do.
you said,
Hey,
PK.
look.
Somebody said, who was that? He said, who's writing these scripts? Why is it out there like that? Is Vince writing these scripts?
Hey.
It's like, all right, no.
Hey, that script was scripted.
That's scripted. Scripted. Whoever's
Hey.
writing these
Hey,
scripts.
man,
is
one more
phenomenal.
bad for the weekend, man.
What you got? What's your
Shout out
worst?
to the Spurs, man. How y'all got a generational player that is only playing 27 minutes, and this man scored 27 points. Let me see. What was the stat line on Wembyana, man? This man, I think he was the first person that ever had like a 27, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5 game. 5 blocks, 5 assists, 5 steals, and this man had 10 rebounds with 20.
I'm sure Wilt got one in there,
in
but
just
they just didn't
27
record
minutes.
it.
And 27, and it's like at crunch time, this dude is not even in the game.
Yeah.
Come on, Greg.
I think they
What we
want to
doing, bro?
lose. I think they.
I don't know.
What
I
they
think
used to say
wanna
back
lose.
on 670, man, who you crapping, man?
Bro, I don't know
Think
what
they
they're
wanna
doing with
lose.
Wemby, bro. I have no answers. He's lived up to every bit of the hype, too,
Yes,
and
he
nobody's talking about it.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
'cause
He's
on a
lived
bad
up
team.
to every single bit of the hype, and nobody's talking about it. He's so good.
Yep.
He's so good. And it is listen, I'm not even a believer in tanking. And I'm a little upset that the Bulls didn't tank for this one. dog. Hey, AK, you supposed to be my overseas guy?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's generational.
You didn't oversee that.
You definitely overlooked it. God, man.
That's
generational.
That's
talent.
a generational talent.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
a generational talent. Let's hope he stays healthy, man. Hey, and that's what cracked me up. It's just like, well, he's got ankle issues, so we don't want to play him too much. When did he get ankle issues? When I don't remember him having ankle issues in France, right? Like he stepped on the ball boy's ankle in Dallas one time. That's the only ankle issue I've seen with him.
He's only 19 years old, man.
That mother's a monster, bro. He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do for the myth, the man, the myth, the legend, formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan Adon. Of course, the super producer, JC. Oh. Joe Holt in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Super producer Joe Holt.
Shout out to Ron holding the chat.
What are you doing with that hair? And of
Shout
course,
out to
C-Dub
Buck
on the ones and twos.
Yes, sir.
Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Bear Don. Peace.